Hey there, EastEnders fans. Grab your cuppa because things are heating up in Walford, and honestly, it's the kind of week that's going to have you gasping at the screen. Today, we're talking about a forgotten character returning, Kat Slater discovering a long-lost Zoe Slater secret, and how it all ties back to some moments you might have totally forgotten. Now, if you've been following the square for years like me, you'll remember that Zoe's story has always been a bit complicated, hasn't it? From her dramatic exits to her secretive returns, there's a lot to unpack. And this week, it all comes to a head. If you love catching all the latest EastEnders twists as soon as they drop, don't forget to hit subscribe and ring that bell. Let's take a step back for a second. Remember back in the early 2000s when Anthony Trueman, Patrick's son, was first introduced? He left Albert Square in 2003 after a really tough storyline. He accidentally caused the death of a pregnant patient and went traveling to clear his head. It was heartbreaking at the time, wasn't it? Then, fast forward to 2014, Anthony rushes back to Patrick's side when his dad has a stroke. That moment really hit me, seeing Patrick, who's always been a strong figure in the square, suddenly vulnerable, and Anthony there, trying to patch things up. It's those small, emotional beats that make EastEnders feel so real. And it's that history that makes his return this week so interesting. Anthony hasn't been a regular for years, but now he's back in Walford, just as Patrick faces another personal crisis. You can almost feel the weight of history clashing with the present. So, here's where it gets juicy. Anthony returns early on Monday, August 25, surprising Patrick right before his wedding to Yolandi. But it doesn't take long for things to go sideways. Patrick's been injured in an attack, and Anthony is suddenly plunged into family drama and chaos. Meanwhile, Kat Slater is on the brink of discovering something huge about Zoe. Fans might remember, back when Alfie went to Spain searching for Zoe, he left a drunken voicemail on Kat's phone telling her that Zoe had been back in London. Well, Tommy Moon accidentally hears this voicemail while snooping and the secret is out. Kat's reaction is going to be priceless and probably a little brutal, knowing Kat. At the same time, there's drama with Joel Marshall, Lily Slater, and Stacy, all tangled up in online mischief and stolen phones. And don't even get me started on Callum and Johnny Carter. Their storyline adds that little bit of romantic tension that keeps you hooked. It's a classic EastEnders week-long, buried secrets, family chaos, and old faces returning just when things were starting to settle. Now, here's a part that might surprise some of you. Anthony's return isn't just random, it connects back to a lot of unresolved family threads. Patrick's health, past regrets, and even the way he raised his kids all come into play. Fans may have forgotten just how complicated Patrick and Anthony's relationship has been over the years. And then there's Zoe. Remember when she fled to Spain? That was back in June. Her sudden disappearance was dramatic, but it was also part of a bigger story that Alfie, Kat, and Stacy have been quietly carrying on their shoulders. Tommy hearing that voicemail, that's going to unleash a storm. It's a perfect example of how the writers bring the past into the present, little reminders, little callbacks that suddenly make everything explode. Even things like Joel's antics and Tommy's snooping tie into this. It's easy to forget, but every minor character and subplot adds to the tension of the main storyline. And EastEnders has always been brilliant at that. Let's pause for a second and think about the emotional impact. Kat discovering the Zoe secret isn't just gossip fodder. For her, it's a real family blow. Kat has always fought to keep her family together, even when they've been fractured. Learning that Zoe has been back under her nose without her knowing, that's going to hurt. Then there's Patrick. Anthony turning up and finding his dad injured adds another layer of worry and guilt. And Yolandi, caught between supporting Patrick and preparing for a wedding that might not happen, you can feel the tension building in every scene. Even with Joel and the younger characters, there's a real human touch. Mistakes, mischief, and impulsive decisions, they all have consequences. It's soap at its best, messy, emotional, and sometimes painfully relatable. Honestly, when I watched the scenes play out, I found myself thinking, could history repeat itself? Will past mistakes come back to haunt them? And that's the beauty of this storyline. It's layered, emotional, and full of suspense. Before we get into what could happen next, if you're enjoying this spoiler breakdown, make sure to smash that like button. Who do you think will handle the Zoe secret best? And do you reckon Patrick and Anthony will finally find some peace? Looking ahead, the coming days are going to be intense. On Tuesday, August 27, Patrick is shaken by Oscar Branning's confession, and the Trueman Fox family rushes in to support him. Anthony wants action taken, Jack Branning pushes for caution, and Kat is still processing the Zoe revelation. Meanwhile, the younger generation, Joel, Tommy, and even Gina and Harry are caught up in their own mini-drama. There's jealousy, stolen phones, online nastiness, and even threats from Kojo's family. All these threads are weaving together, creating tension across the square. And of course, Alfie's trying to contain the Zoe secret. Stacy is involved, and the whole Slater clan is teetering on the edge of a massive showdown. It's one of those storylines where everyone's actions have ripple effects, nothing is isolated. By Wednesday, Kat's BBQ plans at the Vic are thrown into chaos. Arguments, confrontations, and finally, Alfie drops the bombshell that sets the whole week on fire. And by Thursday, with Tommy missing and Patrick's wedding postponed, you can almost feel the weight of all these events pressing down on Walford. So, here's my take on how this could all shake out. Anthony's presence is going to force Patrick to face his past mistakes and possibly reconsider his approach to family. Kat, of course, will confront Alfie and Stacy about Zoe, and we might see her taking a more protective stance over her kids than ever. Joel's antics and Tommy's interference could escalate further, causing more tension for Stacy and the younger Slaters. And then there's the fallout from the Zoe secret. Relationships could be strained, loyalties tested, and maybe even some betrayals revealed. Could this lead to more dramatic exits or even a shocking showdown at the pub? Very possible. EastEnders has a way of making history echo through every generation, and this week it's all coming together in one explosive storyline. So, as we watch these past and present storylines collide, one thing's for sure: Walford is about to feel the consequences of secrets, old grudges, and unexpected returns. Will the Slaters survive the shockwaves? Or is this the start of a chain reaction that changes the square forever? Only time will tell. Anyway, that's all I've got for today's spoiler breakdown. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Who do you think will handle the Zoe secret best? And how do you reckon Anthony's return will shake up Patrick's life? Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more EastEnders spoilers and Walford gossip. We've got daily updates, hot takes, and all the drama you could ever want. Until next time, keep your eyes on Walford, because you never know which secret will come out next.